back to another instrument show and tell. Today's instrument is right here. It is called a Hammond M101 organ. This one was built in Chicago, Illinois in 1963, which means that it is 57 years old this year. This instrument is in a family of instruments called the electronophones, which means that it only produces sound when there is electricity running through it. This is an example of an analog electronophone, meaning that there are things inside the instrument that are actually moving and spinning and working to create the sound, and the electricity is just amplifying and making connections to make that sound. As opposed to a digital electronophone, like a computer, which just digitally recreates and reproduces sounds. So this instrument is pretty complicated. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. Inside the instrument, like I said, there are tons of little wheels that are spinning, and each wheel is controlled by one of these things, whether it's a key or one of the drawbars or one of the switches. And when you press a key or a switch, it makes an electrical connection inside one of those spinning wheels. There are 2 rows of keys on the instrument. Both rows have 44 keys, and I think that's interesting because if you add them together, 44 and 44 is 88, which is the number of keys on a piano. So right from the beginning, it's a little bit complicated just to start the instrument. You don't just turn it on. If you can see over here, there are 2 switches. One says start and one says run. In order to get this instrument to play, you have to hold the start switch for about 10 seconds, and what that does is it will start to make those wheels inside start spinning, and you have to get those up to speed before the instrument can start making sound. So you'll hold that for about 10 seconds, and then you click on the run switch, and that will keep those wheels spinning the whole time that you are playing. So let's see how that works. You'll hear those wheels start to spin as soon as I click on the start switch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you heard those are up to speed. Now I'll click on the run for another 10 seconds. Both of them up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can let go of the start. I can hear inside that the wheels are still spinning. Right now I could start to play, but I don't have anything on here to show that I would play. So if I try to play a note, nothing is going to happen. So now you have a lot of choices in terms of what you are going to actually do. So there are some presets here. Right here says lower presets and upper presets. This is the upper keyboard, this is the lower keyboard. And some of them say on the lower presets there's flutes, ensemble, or drawbars. The drawbars are over here. We'll talk about those in a second. So if I want flutes right there, I can do that. It should sound like flutes now. Kinda. You can also control the volume down here. There's a pedal so that you control with your foot. Right there. You can hear that it has that vibrato sound too. So one of the buttons over here says vibrato cancel. You can do that. So there's the flute sound, ensemble sound, right there. The upper presets, you have again drawbars, which we'll talk about in a second, trumpet, the vibrato off, clarinet, or full organ sound, right there, and then with the vibrato on, there's a great full organ sound there. So the other switches up here are for the bass pedals. You can't see them right now. I'll show them to you in a moment. But down on the floor, we have a bunch of, actually a full octave of bass pedals. So if I press those, let's see, no sound. So this one you have to pull one of the drawbars out to get sound here. There you go, you can hear those super low notes down there. So this pedal legato means that they'll just hold. Fast decay, they'll go away right away. Bass mute, in case you don't want it so loud. So there's the pedals. Percussion here, so you can start to change the way that your keys sound when you're playing. Turn it on right here. So those are for the drawbars, the second and third harmonic. Fast decay is to make it go away right away, or soft percussion sounds. Vibrato is that wah 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 sound. Right now I have it on just standard. You could turn it on small vibrato. So there's regular, small. You could do vibrato chorus and small vibrato. There. And then this one's called vibrato celeste right there. Big and small. Vibrato celeste number 2. Big and small right there. Over here we have reverb. So right now there's no reverb, meaning that there's no little echo after the sound stops. If I turn one of them on, there's actually a little spring chamber under this thing that sends the electricity through the springs, and that's how you get that echoey reverb sound. You can turn on number 1, number 2. It's a little bit longer. You can do both of them at the same time if you want. Over here is just a volume soft pedal, which just makes everything a little bit softer. Okay, let's talk about the drawbars over here. So the drawbars was something really interesting that the Hammond Organ Company invented in order to be able to create your own sounds and to recreate different sounds. So each one of these drawbars, there are 9 of them for the upper keyboard and 8 of them for the lower keyboard, 1 for the pedal on the bottom. They are each sliders that change the harmonic frequencies for each key. So actually for each key up here, there are 9 different tone wheels that are spinning. And when you press a key down, if you have it on drawbars, it's going to go through each one of these, all 9 of them. So if you have none of them on, okay, you hear just that very basic fundamental sound. But as you start to turn them on, so I'll just hold a chord. There's all of them on at the same time. It sort of sounds like a ballpark there. So these are the drawbars, and you can change them in a bunch of different ways in order to get the exact sound you're looking for. Some of them are the octaves, the fundamentals, some of them are the thirds, some of them are the fifths, and by changing the different settings, you can get very specific sounds on here just by changing little things. There are millions of combinations that you could do on these drawbars. Same thing for the lower drawbars. There's none of them on right there. You can't hear anything. As you start to there's all of them right there. Now the harmonics here you can change. So right now I have no harmonics on. If I turn on the second harmonic, you can hear some more notes added. The third harmonic, you can have even more. So basically it is an analog instrument that you can change in a very significant way just by moving these drawbars around. Or you can not worry about those at all, just do some of these presets right here. So that is the Hammond M101 organ from 1963. It's a really interesting instrument, one that I really like to play with and just try to understand how all these drawbars work and try to recreate some interesting sounds. So there's that. Leave a comment if you have any questions about this instrument or if you would like to see any other instruments or songs in some future videos. Well, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.